What's up, my friends? My name is Veronica, and right now I'm going to show you how to play a C or C major chord on your guitar. First, you want to make sure that your guitar is in tune. If you're not sure how to do that, I will link a video here that shows you how to tune your guitar. And once you're all set, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so quick string name review. If we're looking at the strings in terms of numbers, we're going to start at the bottom with string number 1, the thinnest string. Then move up to strings 2, strings 3, 4, 5, and 6. If we're looking at the strings in note names or letter names, we're going to start at the top with the E string, A, D, G, B, and E strings. So one way to remember that is Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Your low E string is going to be the thick string, and that's named because it's lower in pitch. Your high E string is going to be the thinnest string at the bottom because it's higher in pitch. Now for C or C major, right, if you just see a letter by itself, it's usually implied that it's a major chord. So just keep that in mind. C major is exactly the same as just plain C. We're going to be using 3 strings for this one. The second string, or the B string, the 4th string, or the D string, and the 5th string, or the A string. That means we're going to be skipping the 3rd string, or the G string. We won't be pushing down on that string at all. So let's get organized for this one. I'm going to start with my pointer finger, or finger number 1, on the B string, or 2nd string, 1st fret, right in between these vertical lines here. Then I'm going to skip the next string up and put my middle finger, or finger number 2, on the D string, or 4th string, on the 2nd fret. So I'm here so far. So I've got an empty string between these 2 fingers. Then my ring finger is going to come over to the 3rd fret of the A string, or string number 5. So it can be a little bit of a stretch. It's okay for this pointer finger to come kind of up against this fret bar, but as long as you're not right on top of it, right? We still want to stay in our designated fret zones here. One thing that's going to help you a lot is to really curve your fingers over, almost like you have cat claws, so that you're utilizing the very tops of your fingers, not like where your fingerprint is, but the very tip tops of your fingers. You can see those indents on mine where it was pushing down on the string. So I'm not on the pads of my fingers, I'm on the tops, a little bit below my fingernails. So I want to make sure my fingernails are also short to not impede on my ability to push down on those strings from above. That being said, we also want to make sure we can push the strings down firmly to make contact between the strings and the fretboard or the wood of your guitar. So you're going to think of your hand like a clamp. Your thumb pushes against the back of the neck while your fingers push against the front of the fretboard, and it's like your thumb and your fingers are pushing towards each other to create that nice firm tension, so you get a good solid clean chord. The last thing I want to talk about for C major and other chords that are in the C family is that we're not going to be playing all 6 strings. We are going to avoid playing this top string or your low E string. And instead, we're going to utilize just these 5 strings, strings 1 through 5, or the A string down for your C major chord. So let's go ahead and give that a strum and hear what it sounds like. That is your C or C major chord. Now, a couple things to mention is if you're struggling, I know this is not an easy chord to do, especially for brand new beginners. This is not the first chord I would ever teach a beginner on their first or second day, but nonetheless, here we are. So if you're struggling with this chord, right, if you play it and it's just like not sounding good, then my advice is to troubleshoot this chord, meaning go through each string one at a time. And when you hear a chord that's like buzzing or it sounds clunky or muted or choppy, make adjustments with your fingers, right? Think about those technique points I mentioned earlier. Make sure you're really curving your fingers over. You're right on top of the string using the tip tops of your fingers to push down. You're pushing down hard enough and you're not touching any of the other strings on accident. And that includes with your strumming hand too. Make sure that as you're strumming, if you have sleeves on, that you're not accidentally brushing your clothing against the strings as well. So once again, once you've gone through and made all your adjustments, and it sounds pretty good, give it another strum, and you are on your way to mastering that C major chord. I hope this was helpful. If it was, hit that thumbs up button so this video is easier to find for other people like you who are learning guitar. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I would really love to see you back here more often, and it helps me out a lot, and I really, really appreciate the support. So until next time.